Hello everyone. So in this lecture we will attempt 1 mark questions from the chapter continuity and differentiability, and we will only attempt 1 mark questions in this lecture. So पहला question given है fx और gx की value given है, and we have to find which of these functions can be discontinuous. So both fx and gx are nothing but polynomial functions, right? Fx and gx are polynomial functions, and they are defined for all real values. So यहाँ पे दोनों का domain कितना? Domain is all real numbers, because you can put any real number in the first function or second function. So their addition will be a polynomial function. So this will be also defined for all real numbers. Their subtraction will be a polynomial, and their multiplication will also lead to linear into quadratic will give you a cubic polynomial, and that will be also defined for all real numbers. But last option can be correct because this function can be discontinuous. So let's say gx by fx is nothing but x square by 2 plus 1 divided by 2x, which simplifies to x square plus 2 divided by 4x. And यहाँ पे we can see x should not be 0, right? Denominator should not be 0. So यहाँ पे domain क्या आ रहा है? Real minus 0. And so this function is discontinuous at x is equal to 0, right? ठीक है? Discontinuous at x is equal to 0. So let's move to next question. So our next question says how many points of discontinuity are there for this function. So हमारा जो function है, which is 4 minus x square divided by 4x minus x cube. So here denominator must not be 0. So 4x minus x cube should not be 0. We can factorize this. X into 4 minus x square should not be 0, and x into 2 minus x into 2 plus x should not be 0. So which says x should not be 0, x should not be 2, and x should not be minus 2. And तो इसके कितने 3 points है discontinuity के, but of course these two are removable. These 2 points are they form the removable discontinuity. Because you can see you can factorize, you can simplify fx as 4 minus x square, and denominator में if you take x common 4 minus x square, and you can cancel this to find 1 by x, which is not defined at x not equal to 0. But our answer is there are 3 exact points of discontinuity, not 1. ठीक है, तो ये वाला option गलत है. And why is this removable discontinuity? Because if you see अभी ये x is equal to 2 पे defined है, right, and minus 2 पे defined है, and you can see if I calculate fx की value, if for the original function f of 2 की value कितनी आ रही है? 4 minus 2 square, so which is 4, and 4 into 2 minus 2 cube, and this is 0 by 0 form, right? Okay. So this is 0 by 0 form, and this is not defined. Okay. So if a function is not defined at x is equal to 2 and minus 2, okay. So this is function is not defined at all of these 3 values. Okay. For these values. Okay. So correct option is option C. So let's move to our next question. So in this question he is asking कि जो fx है कहाँ पे differentiable नहीं है, which is mod of 2x minus 1 into sin x. So 2x minus 1, mod of 2x minus 1, if I look carefully, 2x minus 1 into sin x is defined for all real numbers, because ये क्या polynomial, this x belongs to real. So and even sin x is defined for all real numbers, right? Okay. So but let's see, अगर मैं इस function को expand करके लिखूं, so when is this term 0? So 2x minus 1 is 0 when x is equal to half, and we can split this function as positive of 2x minus 1 into sin x for x greater than half or equal to half, and minus of 2x minus 1 into sin x for x less than half. So and I can see कि function is maybe continuous at x is equal to half. Maybe it's like mod x, right? ठीक है, yeah, it has some sinusoidal behavior, but हो सकता है कि differentiable now, right? So one thing you can do is find the left hand derivative and right hand derivative, but since it's a MCQ question, we will not do the whole thing कि f of x minus x plus h minus fx by h. We'll just differentiate this right hand derivative and the left hand derivative, and we'll calculate the value of f of half. So let's see, right hand derivative अगर निकाले, so our right hand function is this upper one. So यहाँ पे f dash x की value आ रही है. If I differentiate that function, it is 2x minus 1 का differentiation is 2, sin x remains same, product rule, plus 2x minus 1 into sin x का differentiation cos x. So f dash half कितना आ रहा है फिर? So this is twice of sin half plus में 2 into half minus 1, so which is 0, into cos half. So this term goes to 0. So we get f dash half कितना आ रहा है? Right hand derivative is twice of sin half. Let's calculate left hand derivative. So our left hand function क्या है हमारा? fx की value है minus of 2x minus 1 into sin x. So left hand derivative f dash x is, so it is minus, so I will keep minus inside outside, and we will get the same derivative, right? Minus of 2x minus 1 into sin x, this is fx for x greater than half, right? So and I'll take the derivative of it. I'm keeping negative outside, so 2 into sin x plus 2x minus 1 into cos x, and f dash half is 2 into sin half, and this term goes to 0 into cos half, so this whole term is 0, and we are getting negative of that number, right? Okay, so left hand derivative is not equal to right hand derivative, right? So left hand derivative is not equal to right hand derivative. So we can see the function is not differentiable at x is equal to half. So let's see our options. So this function is differentiable at, our option is r minus half, right? Because this function is not differentiable at half. So fx, so left hand derivative is not equal to right hand derivative at x is equal to half, right? Okay. So at x is equal to half, so we can say fx is not differentiable at x is equal to half, is not differentiable at x is equal to half, or we can say इसका domain क्या हो गया? So domain is x belong, या फिर it is differentiable कहाँ पे हो गया? So कहाँ पे differentiable है? x belongs to r minus half, right? Okay. Specifically half पे differentiable नहीं है. So okay, let's move to next question. Okay, so in this question हमारा function है fx is equal to cot x, and it's asking it is discontinuous at which points. So what we can do, we can find f dash x directly, okay? And f dash x of cot x का differentiation कितना होता है? Minus cosec square x. Okay, so when is this derivative not defined? ठीक है, क्वेश्चन है कि ये कहाँ discontinuous है? Okay, we have just find the points of discontinuity. So maybe we can rub this off and let's see. So हमें पूछ रहा है कि where is this function discontinuous? So function कब defined नहीं होता? So function is not defined whenever the let's say px by qx है, तो qx is not should not be 0, right? ठीक है, whenever qx is 0, the function is not defined. So our fx can be simplified as cos x by sin x, right? and we can say sin x should not be 0. So it means x should not be equal to n pi. Okay, so function is discontinuous at x is equal to n pi, right, where n belongs to integers. So option A must be the correct option. So let's move to our next question. Okay, so this is our next question. So हमारे पास fx given है e की power mod of x, and we have to find which of these options is correct. So first option says continuous everywhere but not differentiable at x is equal to 0. Okay, continuous and differentiable everywhere. And third option says continuous at x is equal to 0. So okay, so this function can be written as fx can be written as e की power x or e की power minus x, right? Okay, for 1 mark question you can do it directly, right? X greater than equal to 0, x less than 0. तो मैं लेफ्ट हैंड लिमिट निकाल लेता हूँ. लेफ्ट हैंड लिमिट कितनी आ रही है? इन दिस आई कैन पुट x is equal to 0, right? So I will get e to the power 0, which is 1. Okay, right hand limit is e to the power minus 0, right? So minus 0, and which is also 1. So left hand limit is equal to right hand limit. So which says function is continuous at x is equal to 0, right? Okay. Okay, what about left hand derivative and right hand derivative? So what I can do is differentiate this whole function. So as it is, f dash x की value is e की power x, and e की power minus x का differentiation is minus of e की power minus x. So this is for x greater than equal to 0. This is for x less than 0. So what is left hand derivative? Left hand derivative. And what is the right hand derivative? So I made a little bit mistake. ये वाला right hand derivative है, right? क्योंकि right hand पे क्या होगा? X is greater than 0, and this is the left hand derivative, left hand limit. So here left hand derivative के लिए मुझे किसको लेना पड़ेगा? इस वाले को, right? तो इसका derivative कितना आ रहा है? Minus of e की power minus x, and but I have to find this value at x is equal to 0. So this is minus 1. And what about the right hand derivative? So e की power x का differentiation, ये रहा e की power x. So but I have to find e की power x की value at x is equal to 0, and which is 1. Okay, so left hand derivative is not equal to right hand derivative. So this is, it is continuous everywhere but not differentiable at x is equal to 0. Option A must be the correct option, right? So let's write that here. So left hand derivative is not equal to right hand derivative. So not continuous, so not differentiable at x is equal to 0. So this function is continuous everywhere. It is also continuous at x is equal to 0, right? But it is not differentiable at x is equal to 0. Okay. So let's move to our next question. So this is 88th question. तो हमारे पास fx given है. It is x square into sine 1 by x, but it is also given x is not equal to 0. ठीक है. So तो यहाँ पे problem हो सकता था because this will become sine infinity if x was 0, but sine x is not equal to 0. Okay? That is out of the domain, right? तो domain क्या है इसका? r minus 0, right? ठीक है. So then the value of function at x is equal to 0, so that it is continuous at x is equal to 0. So okay, x is equal to 0 के लिए we can find its right hand limit and left hand limit. So left hand limit will be like limit h approaching 0 and f of x minus h, right? So 0 minus h, and which is 0 minus h ka square into sine of 1 by 0 minus h. Okay, this is h square into sine of minus 1 by h, and this is limit h approaching to 0, right? Limit h approaching to 0, limit h approaching to 0. Okay, so negative can go outside because h is some positive number, so sine of minus x is minus of sine x. So okay, so what will be the value of this function? So you might think कि अंदर infinity आ रहा है तो, but the point is कि sine x always belongs to minus 1 to 1, right? So and it's also positive, so it will belong to 0 to 1. But the point is we are doing this, right? Limit h approaching 0 minus h square into a number. So this number, ये जो sin of 1 by h, जो कुछ भी हो ये value, right? Sin infinity जो भी हो, but this is something between -1 and 1, right? ठीक है. And if I multiply 0 with -1 to 1 के बीच में कोई number, answer is 0, right? So left hand limit is 0. So what about the right hand limit? So right hand limit is limit h approaching 0, f of 0 plus h. This is limit h approaching 0, 0 plus h square into sine of 1 by 0 plus h. And this is h square into sine of 1 by h, but limit is h approaching 0. And this is h square into some number between -1 and 1, right? Okay. And basically between 0 and 1. So this, and limit is h approaching 0. And we get answer as 0. So even right hand limit is same. So at x is equal to 0, so हमारा question है the value of the function at x is equal to 0, so that the function is continuous at x is equal to 0. So function की value 0 पे कितनी होनी चाहिए? It must be 0, right? ठीक है. If you check carefully, f of 0 is not defined. ठीक है. f of 0 is 0 square into sine 1 by 0, right? ठीक है. It's defined. It is 0 square into some number between -1 and 1, right? Okay. This is also 0. Okay. So the value of the function at x is equal to 0 must be 0. Okay. So left hand limit, right hand limit के बराबर आ रहा है. So let's move to our next question. Okay. So in this question we are given this fx and this function is continuous at pi by 2. Then we have to find the relation between n and m. So okay. So since it's a 1 mark question, you can just do left hand limit at x is equal to pi by 2. What you can do is put pi by 2 in this value, right? So this will be equal to m into pi by 2 plus 1. And right hand limit at x is equal to pi by 2 के लिए, what you can do is put value pi by 2 in this. So this will become sine pi by 2 plus n. So sine pi by 2 is nothing but 1. So this is 1 plus n. So if this is continuous at this point, so left hand limit should be equal to right hand limit, and we find m into pi by 2 plus 1 should be equal to 1 plus n. So we can cancel 1 and we find n is equal to m pi by 2, which makes option C as the correct option. So let's move to our next question, which is the 90th question. Okay, so in this question we are given fx, which is modulus of sin x. Then fx is differentiable everywhere, fx is continuous everywhere, but not differentiable at x is equal to n pi. So these options are given. So let's see. So fx can be defined as plus sin x or minus sin x. This is when the function inside, right, is greater than 0, right? Okay. Sin x greater than 0. So instead of defining it like this, maybe what we can do is simply plot the function. That will be easier for a 1 mark question. So if you have done some trigonometry में graphs, so you can remember sin x का graph looks like this. Okay, 0, pi, 2 pi, and so on, and minus pi. So this is the function y is equal to sin x, and y is equal to mod of sin x. We'll just bring the negative parts above. So this will look like this type of function. This is 0, pi, 2 pi, and so on, 3 pi, and minus pi. So all of these negative parts will come above, right? Okay, and we can see this function is continuous. I don't have to lift my pen to draw this function. So this is continuous for all x. Okay, but it looks like at x is equal to 0, pi, 2 pi, this function changes slope abruptly, right? पहले ऐसे जा रहा था and suddenly it goes like this, and here also. So हो सकता है ये इन points पे differentiable ना हो, and which can make option B as the correct option. So let's check differentiability of this function at x is equal to n pi, या फिर लेट्स से x is equal to 0 पे ही चेक कर लेते हैं सिंपली, राइट. अगर 0 पे डिफरेंशिएबल नहीं होगा तो पाई पे भी नहीं होगा, बिकॉज दिस इज द सेम ग्राफ, राइट. सो लेट्स सी. So let's see, right hand derivative निकालते पहले at x is equal to 0. So this will be limit h approaching 0 f of x plus h, so which is 0 plus h minus f of 0 divided by h, where h is some positive number. So हमारा function है mod of sin x, so this is mod of sin h minus mod of sin 0, which is 0 divided by h, and since h is positive, right, h is positive, so sin h is positive. It's a very, very small number, the h is in first quadrant, right? Okay, so this will become limit h approaching 0 sin h by h, and this limit we have already done in class 11th. This is equal to 1. So it says कि 0 पे राइट हैंड डेरिवेटिव पे स्लोप कितना आ रहा है, so this is +1, राइट. ठीक है, यहाँ पे dy by dx कितना आ रहा है, +1. ओके, एंड वी कैन क्लियरली सी यहाँ पे उसका नेगेटिव आएगा. लेट्स डू दैट हियर. लेफ्ट हैंड डेरिवेटिव कितना आ रहा है, सो मे बी वी कैन डू इट बिलो. सो लेफ्ट हैंड डेरिवेटिव is limit h approaching 0 f of 0 minus h. So this is left hand derivative at x is equal to 0, right? Okay. So 0 minus h minus f of 0 divided by minus h, and this is mod of sine of minus h, so 0 minus h, so minus h minus sine 0 का modulus divided by minus h, and this term goes to 0. But sine of minus h is negative because ये रहा minus of sine, because h is positive, right? ठीक है, and ऊपर वाला नंबर क्या बन जाएगा, sin h, because mod के बाहर क्या आएगा, positive number, but in denominator we have minus h, and the limit is same, limit h approaching 0, limit h approaching 0, and limit h approaching 0, and this is -1. So and this is seen in the graph also. ग्राफ भी आपको यही बोल रहा है कि यहाँ पे स्लोप क्या है, there is a sharp turn here, right, -1 to 1. So the function is continuous everywhere but not differentiable at x is equal to n pi. Okay, so we can move to our next question. Okay, so in this next question we have to find the derivative of this given function. So we can do this question in two ways. We can take the derivative directly. So y is log of 1 minus x square divided by 1 plus x. So we already know some derivatives, log x का differentiation, which is 1 by x, and we can apply quotient rule here. So u by v dash is u dash v minus uv dash divided by v square, and we can also apply the chain rule कि f of gx, इसका डेरिवेटिव क्या होगा, दिस विल बी f dash gx into g dash x. Okay, so based on these formulas we can differentiate it directly. Okay, so dy by dx is 1 by the function inside, which is 1 minus x square divided by 1 plus x square, into chain rule से ddx of the function inside, which is 1 minus x square upon 1 plus x square. So we will apply the quotient rule there. So we find this is equal to 1 plus x square divided by 1 minus x square, and then if I apply the quotient rule, this is first come first serve, so minus 2x into the denominator, which is 1 plus x square, then negative into numerator remains same, into differentiation of denominator divided by square of the denominator. Okay, so I can cancel one of the 1 plus x square from the numerator and denominator, and numerator को simplify कर लेंगे, and we have minus 2x minus 2x cube minus 2x and plus 2x cube. So 2x cube and 2x cube can cancel. Denominator में we have 1 minus x square into 1 plus x square. So this simplifies to minus 4x divided by 1 minus x की power 4. Or you can say 4x divided by x की power 4 minus 1. So let's check the options. So minus 4x divided by, so option B, right? Okay. So you can do this question this way, or you have one more option कि log लिया हुआ, you can take the properties of log and split the term into different terms and then take the LCM. So for example, but this will be a little bit longer and tedious, कि y given है and ये function given है, which is let's see, log of 1 minus x square by 1 plus x square. So you can split this as 1 minus x, 1 plus x divided by 1 plus x square, and you can find this as log of 1 minus x plus log of 1 plus x minus my log of 1 plus x square, and you can take the derivative of this function. So simplifying this, we can find differentiating this, we find dy by dx is equal to 1 by 1 minus x, क्योंकि log x का differentiation, then 1 minus x का derivative is minus 1, chain rule, plus 1 by 1 plus x, and then 1 plus x का differentiation is plus 1, and then 1 by 1 plus x square, then 1 plus x square का differentiation is 2x. So we have minus 1 by 1 minus x plus 1 by 1 plus x, and so यहाँ पे we got an advantage कि हमारा partial fraction हो गया, right? ठीक है, we have already made the partial fraction out of that term which was minus 4x divided by 1 minus x4, right? इसमें आप partial fractions करोगे तो then you will get this term. Of course you can take the LCM to check if you get this result, right? If you take the LCM you should find exactly this result. So and I'll say कौन सा option correct है हमारा? Option B, right? So let's see, let's move to next question, and which is 92. तो 92nd question बोल रहा है y given है and then find the value of dy by dx. So y is square root of sine y of x plus y. So but sin x plus y, इसमें bracket नहीं, I can say this is sin x and this is plus y. So dy by dx, I can do it, we can try to do it directly also, and we can get square root x का differentiation 1 by 2 square root of x, so sin x plus y, and into differentiation of the term inside into ddx of sin x plus y. So I've applied a square root x का differentiation, x की power half का differentiation is 1 by 2 into square root of x, and I've applied the chain rule. So which is cos x plus dy by dx, and this is the value of dy by dx. So if you look carefully, this term, this is equation A, is also present in this equation, right? And we can call this as y. So this, so if I call this term as y, so I can multiply it on the left side. So and even 2, so 2 into y into dy by dx. So I've substituted from A, okay, from A. And this is equal to cos x plus dy by dx. So we can take dy by dx के terms common in the left side. So dy by dx. So अंदर आ रहा 2y minus 1 is cos x. So we find dy by dx is cos x divided by 2y minus 1. Okay, which makes option A correct. So we could have done this question a little bit directly. हमारा जो equation है y is equal to sin x plus y. What I could have done is square root का differentiation was a little bit difficult. I could have just squared the equation to find this, and then I could have differentiated very easily to find y square का differentiation 2y into dy by dx. So I'm differentiating with respect to x, so 2y into dy by dx. So ये y square का differentiation, and then अंदर वाला function क्या है y, उसका differentiation. This is cos x plus dy by dx, and you could have directly found dy by dx into 2y minus 1 is cos x, and this took very less number of steps. Okay, so let's move to next question. Okay, so in this question we have to take derivative of a function with respect to another function. So to do this question, you can take the derivative of the first function with respect to x, and you can also divide dx in the denominator also, so differentiation of gx with respect to x. Okay, so derivative of, so I don't know if you know, so you can do this question directly also. If you know the formula, cos inverse 2x square minus 1 is a direct formula for 2 cos inverse x. So you can find this result a little bit directly also. Derivative of cos inverse 2x square minus 1 divided by cos inverse. So with respect to, I have to take derivative with respect to cos inverse x. So I could divide dx in the numerator and denominator, and but ऊपर वाला function is twice of cos inverse x, right? If you do it directly, so this is derivative of twice of cos inverse x with respect to x divided by derivative of cos inverse x with respect to x, and derivative of cos inverse x क्या होता है? So this is minus 1 by 1 minus x square. So this will be twice into minus 1 by 1 minus x square in the square root, and divide by minus 1 by 1 minus x square, and you can just find the answer is 2. And this question can be done, let's say आपको ये formula नहीं पता है, then we will take full differentiation of this. So इसका derivative क्या होगा? Let's see, numerator का derivative. So I will use this formula of course, right? We will use this formula of course. So cos inverse का differentiation is minus 1 by 1 minus x square, but x क्या है? 2x square minus 1, right? इसका square, right? Into ddx of the function inside, so which is ddx of 2x square minus 1, and divided by derivative of cos inverse x, which is 1 by 1 minus x square. Okay, so let's check if we get the same answer. So we should, right? So let's simplify this term. Even if we don't know this formula, we at least know differentiation of cos inverse x, and we already also know chain rule. So इससे हमें क्या मिलेगा? Minus 1 by 1 minus में क्या आ रहा है? 4x की power 4 minus 4x square. So 2 into, हाँ ठीक है, 4x square, and plus 1, and ddx of 2x square plus 1 is 4x, 2x minus 1. So simplifying this further, we get 1 and 1 cancel हो गया, and we can take ठीक है, so this is 4x4 minus 4x square, ऊपर क्या है 4x but negative sign है, and नीचे negative, इसको I'll multiply above, right? ठीक है, into negative 1 minus x square. So एंड डिनोमिनेटर से आई कैन टेक 4x स्क्वायर कॉमन, सो बाहर आएगा 2x एंड अंदर बचेगा x स्क्वायर माइनस 1 ओके. सो लिटिल बिट मिस्टेक यहाँ पे, दिस इज नेगेटिव, सो दिस इज नेगेटिव एंड दिस इज पॉजिटिव. अंदर बचेगा माइनस एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस 1 एंड 1 माइनस एक्स स्क्वायर कैंसिल हो गया, नेगेटिव नेगेटिव पॉजिटिव हो गया एंड दिस x in the numerator and this x in the denominator cancels and we get answer as तो ये और इससे 2 and negative negative positive, so plus 2, right? Okay, we got the same answer, but this will be a little bit more calculation. If you know the direct formula, that can help. So let's move to 94th question. So 94th क्वेश्चन बोल रहा है x गिवन है, y गिवन है, d2y by dx स्क्वायर. वेरी वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. सो x गिवन है t स्क्वायर, वी कैन फाइंड dx by dt विच इज 2t. हमारे पास y गिवन है विच इज t क्यूब एंड वी कैन फाइंड dy by dx, sorry, dy by dt as 3t स्क्वायर. But our question is not ठीक है, dx स्क्वायर बाय dt स्क्वायर नहीं निकालना, ठीक है. सो वी हैव टू फाइंड d2y बाय dx स्क्वायर विच इज नथिंग बट ddx ऑफ dy बाय dx, राइट? ठीक है, which is ddx of dy by dx. Okay, so what is dy by dx in this? So from the first and the second result, we can find dy by dx as dy by dt divided by dx by dt, which is 3t square divided by 2t, which is 3 by 2t. Okay, so we have to find derivative with respect to x of which function? 3 by 2t. Okay, so which is 3 by 2 into dt by dx. ओके, तो हमें dt by dx की वैल्यू डालनी पड़ेगी विच वी कैन टेक फ्रॉम इक्वेशन ए एंड बी. सो इक्वेशन ए में dt by dx की वैल्यू कितनी है? 1 by 2t. सो 3 by 2 into 1 by 2t and which makes 3 by 4t as the correct option, which is option number B. So you can remember this result. अगर आपको किसी भी फंक्शन का डेरिवेटिव लेना है d2y by dx स्क्वायर, बट फंक्शन इज इन टर्म्स ऑफ t, तो पैरामीट्रिक फॉर्म में अगर इक्वेशन गिवन है, सो दिस विल बी ddx ऑफ dy by dx. सो एंड लेट्स से दिस इज this here is a function of t, right? ठीक है, let's say this is a function of t, so this is some function of t, right? ठीक है, and this will be equal to f dash t into dt by dx, and dt by dx की वैल्यू क्या मिलेगी, कहाँ से मिलेगी? so dt by dx will be given from dx by dt वाला वैल्यू, right? ठीक है, so this is how you can take the second order derivative. So let's move to next question. Okay, so in this question, you value of c in the Rolle's theorem for which this function for the function fx is equal to x cube minus x in the interval 0 to root 3. So Rolle theorem says अगर if at some point function की value कुछ आ रही है and if let's say this is in the interval let's say 0 to root 3, let's say a to b, right? ठीक है, a पे and b पे if the function has the same value, then there will be at least one point. अगर एक function continuous है a to b, तो function is continuous in a to b, so there will be at least one point between a to b जहाँ पे उसका derivative की value 0 होगी. There can be 2 points also or 3 points, right? ठीक है, 1 2 3, and so there will be at least one point जहाँ पे derivative की value 0 होगी. Okay, so since it's a 1 mark question, we can do it a little bit directly and we can just find f dash x. F dash x कितना आ रहा है? So this is 3x square minus 3. Let's see कहाँ पे डेरिवेटिव की वैल्यू 0 है. सो इफ वी फाइंड कि डेरिवेटिव कहाँ पे 0 है, वी फाइंड एक्स स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू 1 एंड एक्स इज इक्वल टू प्लस माइनस 1. इसमें से कोई ना कोई एक वैल्यू शुड बी इन बिटवीन 0 to root 3. yes, so x equal to 1 belongs to the set 0 to root 3. ठीक है, so value of c is 1, right? ठीक है, so at x is equal to 1, ठीक है, at x is equal to 1 this function has derivative 0 and that is the Rolle's theorem कि अगर एंड हमने चेक नहीं किया बट सिंस इट इज रोल्स थ्योरम आप यू कैन चेक कि f of 0 कितना आ रहा होगा. सो इंटरवल f of a, so this is 0 cube minus 3 into 0 which is 0 and f of root 3 which is root 3 का cube minus 3 into root 3, so this is 3 root 3 minus 3 root 3 which is also 0. so अगर दो पॉइंट्स पे फंक्शन की वैल्यू सेम आ रही है so there must be at least one point in between a and b जहाँ पे डेरिवेटिव, let's say this point is c, right? ठीक है, so there will be at least one point in between a and b जहाँ पे डेरिवेटिव की वैल्यू 0 होगी and we have found such point, right? x is equal to 1. so okay, so let's move to next question. okay, so in this question हमें given है fx which is x plus 1 by x and हमें given x and x belongs to 1 to 3. okay, so find the value of c for mean value theorem. so mean value theorem क्या बोलता है? so mean value theorem says कि even if let's say फंक्शन की वैल्यू दो पॉइंट्स पे अलग अलग है, let's say a and b, right? ठीक है, a पे ये वैल्यू है, b पे ये वैल्यू है, ठीक है, and if function is continuous between a to b then there will be at least one point so let's say हमारा function is this function, ठीक है, and it says कि there will be at least one point, let's say this point and this point, जहाँ पे function की slope कितना होगा, it will be same as the slope of the line joining this a b, right? for example here this will be parallel to this, for example here this will be parallel to this. so what we can do, हम क्या करते हैं, f of 1 पे फंक्शन की वैल्यू निकाल लेते हैं. f of 1 is 1 plus 1 by 1 which is 2 and so हमें एक पॉइंट मिल गया. so at x is equal to 1, right? ठीक है, we find y की वैल्यू कितनी आ रही है, 2, so हमारा पॉइंट हो गया 1, 2 and similarly at, so I'm doing at 3 now, at x is equal to 3 f of 3 कितना आ रहा है, 3 plus 1 by 3 which is 10 by 3. okay, so y की वैल्यू कितनी होगी, 10 by 3. so पॉइंट क्या हो गया, 3, 10 by 3. so line joining 1, 2 to 3, 10 by 3 का स्लोप कितना होगा, स्लोप ऑफ द लाइन विल बी y2 minus y1, so 10 by 3 minus 2 divided by 3 minus 1 which is 6 and 4 by 3 divided by 2 and which is 2 by 3. okay, so we should check if there is a point c in between, let's say this is the c जहाँ पे slope कितना आ रहा है, 2 by 3, let's say इसका slope क्या है, 2 by 3 and there must be a point c in between for which slope is 2 by 3. okay, so our function is x plus 1 by x, so we will take the derivative of the function. so f dash x is nothing but 1 minus 1 by x square and let's put this answer is equal to 2 by 3. let's check if this answer can be 2 by 3. so we find 1 minus 2 by 3 is equal to 1 by x square. so 1 by 3 is equal to 1 by x square. so x square is 3 and we can find x की value plus minus root 3. so yes, x is equal to root 3, right? this particular one belongs to 1 to 3, right? and x is equal to root 3 पे हमारा slope कितना आ रहा होगा, of course that will be 2 by 3. so let's check the answer. तो ऐसा कौन सा पॉइंट है 1 से लेकर 3 के बीच में जहाँ पे सेम स्लोप होगा एज दी लाइन सेगमेंट जॉइनिंग 1, f of 1 and 3, f of 3, which is root 3. ठीक है, so we just check कि 2 by 3 इसका स्लोप आ रहा है किसी ना किसी पॉइंट के बीच में. so yes it is. so let's move to our next question. So in this question, we have to write an example of a function which is continuous everywhere, but fails to be differentiable exactly at 2 points. So for example, we can take a mod function. So for example, if I have y is equal to mod x, so but this function is continuous everywhere, because if you remember the graph, right? Okay, it is continuous everywhere. But it is not differentiable at x is equal to 0, right? Okay, not, but this is only not differentiable at 1 point. We have to find a function which is not differentiable at 2 points. Okay, but not differentiable at x is equal to 0. So what I can do, maybe I can construct one more function. For example, y is equal to x plus 2, right? Okay, so this function will look like -2 से ये आ रहा होगा, right? So -2 से आ रहा होगा, and this is continuous everywhere, right? Okay, continuous everywhere but not differentiable at x is equal to -2. So what I can do, I can construct a function like I can add these two, right? Okay, so this function, right, it is continuous for all x but not differentiable at exactly 2 points, right? Okay, not differentiable at x is equal to 0 and x is equal to -2, right? Okay, exactly 2 points, right? Okay, so if you want, you can try to plot this also, but I'll leave the example like this, right? Okay, so let's move to our next question. So in this question, we have to take derivative of x square with respect to x cube. So we can take derivative of both functions with respect to x. And numerator की value आ जाएगी 2x, denominator की value आ जाएगी 3x square, and we can find the answer is 2 by 3x. So okay, so let's move to our next question. Okay, so we have to find the value of f dash pi by 4. So what you can do, for example, between 0 to pi by 2, you can simplify the function as plus cos x, right? Okay, so this is for x belonging to first quadrant, right? So 1 mark question के लिए you can take its derivative to find f dash x is minus sin x, and f dash pi by 4 की वैल्यू कितनी आ जाएगी? Minus sin of pi by 4, which is -1 by root 2. So this is one way you just define the function in the local area जहाँ पे वो पूछ रहा है डेरिवेटिव को, pi by 4 के पास पूछ रहा था, तो मैंने फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट में डिफाइन कर दिया फंक्शन को. Or you can take the whole definition of the derivatives की, let's see, maybe you can find the right hand derivative, or ठीक है, so f dash pi by 4 will be nothing but limit h approaching 0. So right hand derivative के definition से this will be f dash, so f of pi by 4 plus h minus f of pi by 4 divided by h, right? You can use the basic definitions also, and you can prove कि left hand derivative भी same ही आएगा. I'm using the right hand derivative, so this will be limit h approaching 0. F of pi by 4 plus h will be cos of pi by 4 mod of cos of pi by 4 plus h minus mod of cos pi by 4 divided by h. And since h is a very small positive number, h is approaching 0 and h is positive, right? So this is very close to pi by 4, right? Okay, so this is positive. I know this result is positive, so I don't have to take negative of this, right? And I can say this is cos pi by 4 plus h because this is positive, and this is also positive, which is 1 by root 2, right? And you can open this up and check cos pi by 4 cos h minus sin pi by 4 sin h minus 1 by root 2 divided by h so this is 1 by root 2 cos h minus 1 by root 2 and minus में sin pi by 4 which is also 1 by root 2 into sin h and whole thing divided by h. So what I will do is create two limits. So I'll divide this by h and I'll divide this by h because sin x by x कितना होता है 1 होता है and I'll figure out इसका क्या करें plus में limit h approaching 0. So you can take 1 by root 2 common from here and limit h approaching 0 cos h minus 1 divided by h and यहाँ से you can take minus 1 by root 2 common limit h approaching 0 sin h by h which is 1 and this will go to 0. So let's check. So you 1 minus cos h is so 1 minus cos h is cos x is minus sorry it is 2 sin square x by 2. So this is minus 2 sin square h by 2 and this will go to 0 because sin h by 2 will be 1 but एक h missing है तो next sin h by 2 will go to 0 so this derivative will go to 0 and minus में half 1 by root 2 into 1 and this is minus 1 by root 2. So you can do this hard way or you can simplify it, simply take the derivative in the local region. Okay, so let's move to our next question which is cos x minus sin x का model is given and you have to find its derivative at pi by 3. So let's see when does this function changes sign. So cos x minus sin x is equal to 0. इसके zeros कहाँ पे हैं? So this is cos x is equal to sin x. So tan x is equal to 1 and we find x is equal to so tan x is equal to tan pi by 4 and general solution will be x is equal to n pi plus pi by 4. So I can draw a line and I can put some numbers in कि for example n की value -1 डालने पे this is coming out to be minus 3 pi by 4. Then उसके बाद ये कहाँ साइन चेंज कर रहा है n is equal to 0 जहाँ पे pi by 4 पे then it is changing sign at n is equal to 1 डालने पे 5 pi by 4. So and हमें कहाँ चेक करना है somewhere here which is pi by 3. So let's check at pi by 3 if this function is positive or negative. So f of pi by 3 is nothing but mod of cos pi by 3 minus sin pi by 3 which is half minus root 3 by 2. So this is negative, right? Okay, this is negative. So which is अंदर क्या आ रहा है? So I can remove the mod, right? So I am just looking for this value. So ये क्या आ रही है? This value is itself negative, right? Okay. So between pi by 4, ठीक है, pi by 4 से लेकर 5 pi by 4. So x belonging to these values, fx can be defined as positive, right? Sorry, negative, right? ठीक है, pi by 4 के बाद ये क्या आ रहा है? Negative, right? क्योंकि let's see. So we have cos x minus sin x, but this will be negative. So that it remains positive, right? It will become sin x minus cos x. You can see pi by 3 पे वैल्यू क्या आ रही है? पॉजिटिव आ रही है, राइट? बिकॉज मॉड लगा हुआ है 0 से pi. सो यू कैन इमेजिन इट लाइक दिस ऑल्सो बाय ड्रॉइंग अ ग्राफ ऑल्सो कि cos x का फंक्शन ऐसा होता है, राइट? pi by 2 तक. सो इट इज अबव, राइट? ठीक है, 1 से स्टार्ट होता है 0 पे जाता है. एंड साइन का फंक्शन pi by 2 पे क्या होता है? सो 0 से स्टार्ट होकर 1 तक जाता है, राइट? ठीक है, एंड इन बिटवीन दैट पाई बाय 4 पे दे चेंज कि कौन सा ऊपर है कौन सा नीचे, राइट. सो बिटवीन 0 टू पाई बाय 4 यू कैन सी cos x इज अबव, राइट. ठीक है, एंड फिर क्या नीचे क्या sin x, बट पाई बाय 4 के बाद क्या है sin x इज अबव एंड cos x क्या है नीचे. So sin x minus cos x of course will be positive, not cos x minus sin x. So if we have concluded this, तो हमें local area में क्या पता है, function की value पता है, so we can just find the derivative of this. So let's do that. So if in my region fx की value इतनी है, तो f dash x की value कितनी होगी. So sin x का derivative is cos x का derivative is minus sin x, so it will become plus sin x, and f dash pi by 3 will be nothing but half plus root 3 by 2. Okay, so this is root 3 plus 1 by 2. Okay, so हमें अगर local region में function पता है तो local region में हम उसका derivative भी निकाल सकते हैं. So let's move to our next question, which is 101. For this curve root x plus root y, dy by dx की वैल्यू निकालनी है at x is equal to 1 by 4 comma 1 by 4. Okay, so we'll say कि root x का डेरिवेटिव क्या होता है 1 by 2 root x, and we'll also apply the chain rule कि for example y का डेरिवेटिव is dy by dx, right. And similarly chain rule अगर मैं देखूँ किसी function of y का डेरिवेटिव will be f dash y into dy by dx, right. Okay, so let's apply all this. So if I take the differentiation of this implicit differentiation, I'll get 1 by 2 root x plus 1 by 2 root y into dy by dx, and this must be equal to 0. So dy by dx is minus root y by root x, so 2 cancel हो गया, and we find this value. So dy by dx at particular point x is equal to 1 by 4 comma 1 by 4, and which you can of course check it lies on the curve, because square root of 1 by 4 plus square root of 1 by 4 is nothing but half plus half, which is 1, right. So it satisfies the equation. So this point lies on the curve, and इसमें dy by dx की value कितनी आ रही है, square root of 1 by 4 divided by square root of 1 by 4, this is half divided by half, so this is minus 1. Okay, so for this curve dy by dx की value कितनी आ रही है, minus 1. Okay, so let's move to our next question. So Rolle's theorem is applicable for a function mod of x minus 1. So Rolle's theorem is only applicable if function is differentiable in that region. ठीक है, so Rolle's theorem में हमने देखा था कि दोनों पॉइंट्स पे अगर आंसर सेम है तो if the function is differentiable between these two points, so there will be one must point जहाँ पे derivative की value can be equal to 0, right. ठीक है, अगर दोनों पे वैल्यू फंक्शन की सेम आ रही है, देयर विल बी एटलीस्ट वन पॉइंट जहाँ पे डेरिवेटिव की वैल्यू 0 होगी. बट लेट्स सी मॉड ऑफ x माइनस 1 जो हमारा फंक्शन है इसका ये कब 0 हो रहा है. सो व्हेन इज दिस चेंजिंग साइन. सो this function can be defined as x minus 1 or minus x plus 1. This is for x greater than 1 or equal to 1, or this is for x less than 1. And ये 1 जो number है, this belongs to 0 to 2. You can draw the graph of this function also, right? This graph 1 or 1 अगर ये है तो this will look like this, right? ठीक है, so this is x minus 1 and this is minus x plus 1, and you can see between 0 to 2, right? 0 to 2 में रोल्स थ्योरम एप्लीकेबल नहीं है, ठीक है, बिकॉज कहीं पे भी डेरिवेटिव 0 नहीं आ रहा है, एंड दिस इज बिकॉज देयर इज अ शार्प टर्न इन द ग्राफ. ऐसा नहीं है स्मूथ टर्न नहीं है, अगर ये स्मूथ टर्न होता तो देन यहाँ पे इस पॉइंट पे डेरिवेटिव 0 आ जाता, बट इन दिस फंक्शन देयर इज नो स्मूथ टर्न. सो वी कैन से सिंस दिस फंक्शन is not differentiable for all, so differentiable for all values from 0 to 2, right? So 0 to 2. So क्योंकि x is equal to 1 पे this is not differentiable, right? ठीक है, this function is not differentiable at x is equal to 1. It is continuous but not differentiable. So Rolle's theorem is not applicable, right? ठीक है. So Rolle's theorem is not applicable. सो रोल्स थ्योरम एप्लीकेबल होने के लिए क्या होना चाहिए, जिन दो पॉइंट्स पे फंक्शन की वैल्यू सेम आ रही है उन दोनों पॉइंट्स के बीच में फंक्शन शुड बी डिफरेंशिएबल, राइट? ठीक है, इट शुड बी स्मूथ फंक्शन, इट शुड नॉट हैव शार्प एजेस. ओके, सो लेट्स मूव टू नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. सो या दिस फंक्शन इज नॉट डिफरेंशिएबल, सो दिस स्टेटमेंट इज फॉल्स, सो दिस इज ट्रू एंड फॉल्स. सो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन क्या बोल रहा है, इफ f is continuous through its domain, then mod f is continuous through D. So is this statement true or false? This is true. So you can imagine any random function, for example, if it's already above the x-axis, right, fx, so it will not, mod of f will not change the function, right? It will look exactly the same, right? Mod of fx. But even if it is changing sign, it could be any function, let's say this, right? ठीक है, पॉजिटिव से नेगेटिव में जा रहा है. Then mod of fx में क्या होगा, सिर्फ नेगेटिव पार्ट्स will become positive, right? So there will be sharp edges. For example, ये जो ब्लैक वाला लाइन है, it will become this, right? ठीक है, this black portion might become like this. एंड जो फंक्शन का पोर्शन ऊपर था वो ऊपर ही रहेगा, एंड जीरो पे वैल्यू जहां पे जीरो थी वहां पे जीरो ही रहेगी. ठीक है, सो दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू चेंज. सो दिस फंक्शन, राइट, ठीक है, मॉड ऑफ fx इज कंटिन्यूस, राइट? ठीक है, इफ fx इज कंटिन्यूस फॉर ऑल वैल्यूज in its domain, then fx is continuous for all the values in its domain. But only thing is it will be not differentiable whenever it is crossing. ठीक है, not touching, whenever it is crossing the axis. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे you can see I don't have to lift my pen, so this is continuous, right? ठीक है, but not differentiable. ठीक है, not differentiable when fx cuts the x-axis, right? It cuts the x-axis. Okay, so let's move to our next question. So the composition of two continuous functions is a continuous function. So is this statement true or false? So this statement is true. So this statement is true. So let's see why. So if I have a continuous function, let's say, so continuous in R, right? Okay, so continuous in R. So let's see. So let's say fx and gx, and I'm doing this composition like this. Okay, f of gx, and let's say gx में this is a continuous function, so x belongs to real, right? And fx में this is also continuous function, so let's say x belongs to real. So I can put, so in this function I can put any x, right? Okay, so I can put any x, right? Okay, so I'll get some output. Okay, some output, and this output will be a subset of real, right? Okay, gx से जो भी output होगा, that will be a subset of real number, right? Okay, subset of real. Basically, it will be a subset of minus infinity to infinity. And we already know fx कहाँ पे defined है. fx is defined for all the numbers, and we are just putting some numbers. We are just putting some numbers जो भी gx का output आ रहा है, right? ठीक है. So since in x I can put any number, right? So any x is allowed, right? So we can say f of gx exists for all x, right? It exists for all x, क्योंकि x से आपको क्या मिलेगा, gx, एंड ये gx को आप fx के अंदर पुट कर सकते हो, बिकॉज f के अंदर आप कोई भी वैल्यू पुट कर सकते हो, राइट, रियल नंबर्स में. एंड यहाँ पे जो भी आउटपुट है, लेट्स से सिर्फ पॉजिटिव नंबर्स में आएंगे, तो पॉजिटिव नंबर्स के लिए f वाज डिफाइंड, राइट. ठीक है, सो वी कैन से दिस इज अ कंटिन्यूअस फंक्शन. ठीक है, so this statement is true. So let's move to 105th question. So ये बोल रहा है trigonometric and inverse trigonometric functions are differentiable in their respective domain. So is this statement true or false? So if you think carefully, अगर आप सो बोलो कि नहीं भाई tan x डिफरेंशिएबल नहीं होता at pi by 2 ऐसा कुछ, right? Because if you remember tan x का ग्राफ कैसा होता है, it goes to plus infinity at pi by 2, right? And second quadrant में tan नेगेटिव होता है and pi पे फिर 0 होता है and then it goes like this. So this is pi by 2, this is 3 pi by 2, this is 0, this is pi, right? But if you remember the domain, right, of tan x, so उसका डोमेन क्या होता है, x, this is r minus all the values, all the odd multiples of pi by 2, right? 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, right? हमने already we have taken out the numbers जहाँ पे differentiable नहीं है, and the answer is true. So they are differentiable even if they are not differentiable at some points, but हमने we have already taken care of them in the domain, right? ठीक है, हमने डोमेन में से उन वैल्यूज को निकाल दिया था जहाँ पे ये फंक्शंस आर नॉट डिफाइंड. तो दिस स्टेटमेंट इज ट्रू. सो ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक एंड इनवर्स ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक्स आर डिफरेंशिएबल फंक्शन इन देयर रिस्पेक्टिव डोमेन. ठीक है, अगर तो आप बोल रहे हो पाई बाय 2 पे डिफरेंशिएबल नहीं है, तो पाई बाय 2 उसकी डोमेन में भी नहीं है. वी हैव नॉट डिफाइंड देम लाइक देम दैट. सो लेट्स मूव टू अवर लास्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर द एमसीक्यूज. सो दिस इज ट्रू एंड फॉल्स, बट ठीक है. सो So f into gx is continuous at x is equal to a. Then f and g are separately continuous at x is equal to a. So is that statement true? So fx into gx is continuous. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे left hand limit is equal to right hand limit. But let's say I define fx is equal to some x square plus 1 divided by x minus 1, right? ठीक है, and if I define gx is equal to x minus 1 divided by x square plus 2. So if you can see, this function is not defined at x is equal to 1, right? ठीक है, not defined at x is equal to 1. ठीक है, because denominator 0 आ रहा है. ठीक है, denominator 0 आ रहा है. So this is not continuous at x is equal to 1, but इन दोनों का multiplication, which is x square plus 1 divided by x minus 1 into x minus 1 divided by x square plus 2. So यहाँ पे this can cancel. It is x square plus 1 by x square plus 2 is continuous at x is equal to 1, क्योंकि this is यहाँ पे denominator की value 0 नहीं होगी. So this is continuous for r, right? ठीक है, so this यहाँ पे domain क्या आ रहा है, r minus 1, right? ठीक है, and यहाँ पे डोमेन क्या आ रहा है, r. So this function is continuous, right? Continuous at x is equal to 1, but this function, which is just fx, is not defined at x is equal to 1. So this statement is false. So ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि एक फंक्शन कंटिन्यूअस है, दूसरा सॉरी अगर दोनों का प्रोडक्ट कंटिन्यूअस है, इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि दोनों फंक्शंस भी कंटिन्यूअस हो, बिकॉज देयर माइट बी अ फैक्टर जो कैंसिल हो रहा है इन दोनों के मल्टीप्लिकेशन पे. ठीक है, सो थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग. like, share and subscribe, and notes will be available below the lecture. Okay.